who still have a shot. The Dolphins will clinch a playoff spot with a win in Week 17 against the Bills in Buffalo. Here's the reaction from the guys after the game.
The tunnel thing was weird because this is the first time in my 16-year career I've had to go to the bathroom so bad that I had to go during the game. And so I ran in there to take a pee, and then I came back out. And when I came back out, Flo said, hey, get ready, you're going in. So I took the obligatory 7 warm-up throws and went out there and tried to make something happen.
In a way, it really wasn't as shocking tonight, to see what had happened. They call him Fitzmagic for a reason.
We felt the play was to eliminate all the clock and all the timeouts and put them back with they're back against the wall with 19 seconds left. I don't regret it. I didn't want Fitzpatrick to have the ball. He's a gunslinger. He was hot. That's all I can say. I don't regret it one bit. I just regret the results.
Who's your starting quarterback against Buffalo?
Who was a starter? I think it was up and down. But look, I have a lot of confidence in Tua. He's made a lot of plays for us this year. He made plays today. We just felt like we needed a spark. The way the game was going, and Fitzy gave us that. But look, we have a lot of confidence in Tua.
It was a gutsy call to make in that position. Matt, do you think it's the right call going forward, though? Can they keep using these two guys the way they're doing it right now?
Listen, it was the gutsiest of calls, and I disagreed with the decision when they, during the bye week, they went to Tua as the starter. But once you do that, it is so much even harder to go back to Fitzy, to go back to him in the games, because the Monday morning quarterbacks are going to attack you. So hats off to Brian Flores for making the gutsy call and making it work. This is what I think has happened, though. This is as mentally tough of a team as you'll find in the NFL. Usually you got to handle the quarterback position with kid gloves. You can bench a tackle, remove a linebacker. But with the quarterback, you got to be super careful about their feelings. This team...
y'all's feelings.
But it's just true. This team and this quarterback room, because of how Brian Flores has handled it, how he's communicated to it, the team is bought in. The quarterback room seems to be very, very unselfish. The only thing is, this is my one thing, you need to be learning lessons as a young quarterback as your team's winning games. They're barely winning games. Nothing else matters besides winning this game next week. It's not about Tua's development. It's about beating the Buffalo Bills next week. So that's where I don't know if I agree with what he's deciding to do going forward, but I'll say he's earned my respect and he's earned my trust.
So who gives them a better chance to beat the Buffalo Bills?
Without a doubt, Fitzpatrick gives them a better chance to win one game. A one-game season, Ryan Fitzpatrick gives you a better chance next week in 7 days to win a game. There's no doubt in my mind about that. That's not to take anything away from Tua. But to me, if you're trying to win one game and everything's on the line, Ryan Fitzpatrick would be your starter.
Let's talk about what Tua's learning. You're talking about what he has to learn while they're winning football games, and I think Brian Flores is teaching him, you don't play well, I'm going to take you out. And this is my coach of the year, Brian Flores, because he was asked a couple weeks ago about what's it like being a defensive-minded head coach handling a rookie quarterback. He's like, what are you talking about? I coach football. And that's what he did last night. You feel the quarterback's not getting the job done. I got somebody right here that I think can get it done, and he makes the switch. Gutsy call. I don't think a lot of coaches would have made that. I mean, because you got your number one pick right there. Tua is supposed to be the future. But Brian Flores is that type of a coach to get the feel of his team to say, nah, man, you're not doing the job. I'm putting the other guy.
Brew, I totally agree with you on Flores being coach of the year. And it seems like he's always made the right decisions. And the right decision to me was to put Tua in the starting position when that team was 3-3. Why? Because he protects the football team. And that's not going to change. And when he goes into Buffalo, it's going to be the same thing. Look, he's got the benefit. Fitzpatrick is an amazing backup quarterback. Why? You want a guy with that gunslinger mentality coming off the bench and providing your team a spark. And that's what he does.
Seven warm-up throws.
Yes, 7 warm-up throws. He's ready to go. Dust him off. He's ready to go. And for the first time in his career, he's going to go to the playoffs. And congratulations to him. Now, was it an unbelievable performance by Fitzpatrick? Absolutely. But the starter to me, you drafted this kid the way you did because you see this is a guy that is going to sit back.
I get what you're saying, but
how about I finish here, Pat? But a simple thing about this, all right? Here's a guy, and we talk about a defensive coach. You want to be able to protect the football team. He spent all that money in the offseason building that defense to be what it is. All right? We can't turn the ball over. We're going to be competitive in every single game and give ourselves the best chance to win based on the fact that we are going to protect the football. Now, in a situation, look, they needed a spark. 3 straight 3-and-outs. They 100% needed a spark. But this guy, he makes the right calls. And I see it all the time. And look, I've been there. You know, sometimes you got to overcome, you know, a rookie quarterback. He had the benefit of going to a veteran guy, 16-year veteran, that he needed in that moment. And I don't think it changes anything. He's got the same thing in his thing. If he needs to spark his team again, he'll put Fitz right back in.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying about protecting the football, but in the quarterback room, I think you need to count dropped interceptions like an interception. I think you need to count poor decisions like a critical error in the game. And so I know the stat sheet won't show up. It'll show up that Tua is protecting the football, but I don't think he's protecting the football. And even that aside, this is too conservative of an offense when he's in there. He didn't even have 100 yards passing in the game when they took him out. It looks like Chan Gailey calls the game differently when Fitzpatrick's in there. And so I'm just saying, I would be surprised if your house, not somebody else's house, but if your house was on the line, if you were betting your house, I think that you would go with Ryan Fitzpatrick as your starter. Despite what you're saying.
The same thing can happen next week. The same thing can happen next week. You go into Buffalo, he's not playing well. Flo will do the same thing.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, to me, you have really one of the best backup quarterbacks in the league. He probably is the best backup quarterback in the league. And so, to me, you're able to go to that. It's a tool. Man, I'm much older than you guys. I remember when Billy Kilmer couldn't even throw a spiral, but was an amazing backup, and back then the Washington football team would put him in instead of Sonny Jurgensen. Okay, but I'm just telling you, you have that still. All right, Randy, go ahead and tell me how you're going to play Fitzpatrick. I know you guys.
You know, let me talk about a pro's pro. Matt, a couple years we've sat on this set, and I've called him a journeyman, and you've agreed with me just for the teams that he's been on. And I think he's found him a place in Miami. The backup role for a guy like Fitzpatrick, that's where he wants to be. When you can sit here and listen to his press conference, his soundbite at the end of the game, he seems so calm. He seems so relaxed. He understands what's at stake. He understands that this is Tua's team for the future. But, Mac, you said if you want Fitzpatrick in for one game, a one-game season, that's what really stands out to me, talking about the journeyman with Ryan Fitzpatrick. I love what I've seen in this offense. You're talking about the three straight 3-and-outs that the Miami Dolphins that led to benching Tua. He understands the offense. When you have a veteran quarterback, Matt, you can attest to this. How many more defense? How many more defense do you need to see? Fitzpatrick has seen it all. So for him to get in there and lead that Miami Dolphins team down the field for the win, that's just something I expect a journeyman and a backup quarterback with that many years in the league to do.
Yeah, I can't let this end without talking about little Raiders because Bill Parcells, my rookie year, always said, "Don't be that guy."
Who's the guy then?
Don't Arden Key. What are we doing in terms of the situation where you got problems with the scheme and the defense and the cover two and the safety and all of this? Sure, he hit the honeypot, yes, but you not only put your hand on the face mask, you grabbed it and you yanked it. Did you not know what you were doing there? What was the situation? The Raiders, up to that point, played it perfectly. Loved the way that Gruden had it. Kneeling down, eating up the clock, 19 seconds. There was that guy right there. Arden Key, the face mask. That's the season for the Las Vegas Raiders.
I'm glad you got that off your chest.
I had to.
He was going to explode.
It's been on you.
Stop.